late 2019, me and my niece Chenoa Lovell went down to Canberra, went to the archives down there to find information about Wirdi language.
We went there, everything was in our own little room. It was on a cart. And Cody and I spent 3 days reading through manuscripts, books, handwritten notes, listening to tapes, just trying to make sure that we identified and located any relevant piece of information relating to the language spoken around Claremont and that region historically. Working where I've worked previously, I got to spend a lot of time at the archives, spent a lot of time working with historic documents and things like that. But this was different.
With Chenoa being doing the research, was basically introducing her to language. You know, she knew a few of the words that she'd heard growing up and stuff. But one thing that really was obvious, and she said to me, is at a certain stage of the project, she felt like she knew who she was and where she was from. It gave her a sense of identity.
What we found when we went to Arts was not just language by itself, but we found a lot of interesting information about our people and the customs of our people and other languages which connect up to our people from surrounding groups.
One of the things that when we were doing the research down in Canberra that we'd come across is how connected the languages are in general, basically. So, you know, you might have one piece of country here, but the neighbouring groups, they all spoke a very similar dialect. So if they didn't speak the same language, the dialect was very, very close. Obviously, people needed to be able to communicate with each other, so it makes sense. So I think that was something that was really interesting to me. It really shows how interconnected we are as one big mob.
Aboriginal culture is the longest living culture in the world. You know, I want to learn more language and teach my little brothers and sisters, and you know, even if my uncles don't know it, you know, I can teach them too. Most of them blackfellas today, teenagers, they're all in the city. All my friends, they don't know any of their language. And to me that hurts, you know. For me as a blackfella, Wirdi man, I'm very proud to learn my language today.
And I suppose, you know, it's been difficult, and we thought it was too difficult because we didn't have Wirdi language speakers.
It sometimes gets a bit emotional with the older people when we're teaching them language, because a lot of the words that we're saying, they remember when they were kids from hearing their grandparents and their older people speaking it, but they were unsure of what the words were and what they meant.
We're still using that language. We're creating that language in a way so that they can understand it's a descriptive language. So they come and they took that language and they bashed our people and they put them in a jail and said, can't speak that language anymore. Because they knew that language was the strongest point, because that's the beginning of culture. Language is a vehicle for culture. The song and the dance and the music and the stories and the art, they all come from language.
Well, for young people and older people, it is a bit, you know, you get a bit anxious about trying to speak the words and, you know, pronouncing them the way they were traditionally said.
Watamuli, Ngaju Nari Chenoa, Ngaya Wada Wirdi, which means, hello, my name is Chenoa, I speak Wirdi.
Even myself learning, you know, I'm a bit worried that I'm not saying it properly, but the only way to do that is to learn the pronunciation. And on our website we have a video and audio on how to say particular sounds.
Gamo,
I mean, it's all about practice. It's about repeating the words over and over again. You're going to get it wrong so many times. You've just got to keep listening to the recordings, keep practicing those sounds. You'll eventually get it, and when you do get it, you'll know it's right. You'll feel it. It'll flow.
Waramuli, Ngajunari Kuri, Yuna Liam, Yuna Nathan, Yuna Balbada, Teresa Creek, Yunambaru, Wirdi Yambanani, Yarambaru, Kangulu Yambanani.
With the songs and dances that we do, they're storytelling, but also uplifting. For the younger ones to participate, you see a different change in their attitudes, like growing up in cities or suburbs or missions. They feel like they belong and can connect and relate to the dances, even if they haven't done them, like, you know, get taught there on the spot. There's a spiritual sense about it, so the children really do enjoy it. It's good to see them out there passing down what we've been taught, so it brings a sense of pride and joy to all the family members, grandparents, all the way down to the younger ones.
With Cody, learning the language, I've watched him learn over the last year, and listening to him speak makes me so proud and makes me, you know, want to learn as well. He's just done a fantastic job, and you can see it's in his heart that culture, language, country means so much to him. It just, you know, reminds me that everyone can do it and give it a go.